South Africa take on Australia in a T20 and ODI series. It's a tour to Australia, so it's a new environment for some new players, and it's a big challenge for South Africa. But I'm going to always look at this with the future in mind. I'm always going to take into consideration everything when it comes to these particular games, and particularly I want to see what Coach Shukri is going to be doing when we're talking about things like who's going to be in that starting 11 in that World Cup in 2026, which players is he looking at as the future of South African cricket, who is he going to keep in the back of his mind, maybe as backups. All of those things I want to have a look at. And that's what I'm going to be looking at when it comes to this particular T20 series. It's the first big challenge for Coach Shukri. We didn't win the Tri series. We actually fought really hard in that final game against New Zealand, and we actually challenged them till the end. Yes, we threw it away in certain parts of the match, but it was inspiring to see young players actually put up their hands and actually take South Africa close to the victory. It didn't happen in the end. A little bit of luck on New Zealand's side and good fielding from them really put them in a strong position to win that match and ended up getting over the line. But there were some signs, some good signs. And for me, when it comes to teams, I like to look at how we're going to improve. Where can we improve our style? Where can we build on that defeat? And that's what I'm going to be looking at. Have we learned from our mistakes? This T20 is going to be a good test for our mentality. It's going to be a good test to see where Coach Shukri's head is at when it comes to our 11 and the squad. And it's going to be a good test for the youngsters that are in this team and the new guys that have been trusted by the coach to be the future of South African cricket. So we're going to be talking about all of that on today's show. I'm also going to be reacting to Coach Shukri's press conference. Now, I initially wanted to do my preview last night, but then we got a message to say that the Coach Shukri Conrad press conference was embargoed for this morning. So I thought it would be a waste for me to do a preview without actually reacting to the press conference. So I moved it to this morning because I need this preview to be out for as long as possible before the game tomorrow at 11. So that's why I have pushed the preview, guys. So I'm sorry I didn't give you a show last night, but it would have been a complete waste. So I need to do that, of course. We did not receive the video press conference, so we only received the audio file. So that's why I'll be playing it on today's show and I'll be reacting to it live with you guys. So it's the first time I'm also listening to it. So it's nice that we can do this together as a community. We haven't been getting a lot of video press conferences from Cricket South Africa, and we haven't been getting the training videos either. So I don't know what's happening with regards to that and why that has stopped from Cricket South Africa. But I'm going to give you the best that I can and what I've been given from with regards to availability. So let's get into today's show. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this one. Don't forget to, of course, subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Smash the like button, comment and share. Don't forget to comment in the comment section after we've ended this live stream. It really helps. I'll try to engage with as many comments as possible. I do read all your comments. I don't just always reply to all of them. Sometimes you guys knock me with some of the questions that you ask me, but a lot of the times it's statements, and I enjoy those. And I try to react to as many as possible, but please continue doing so. But the important thing about our channel is that you guys need to share this with other South African cricket fans that you know. Let's grow this community. Let's grow the support for the South African cricket fan base. We are a digital magazine, and that is first and foremost what our main pride is. So please go ahead and download the latest issue, cricketfanaticsmagazine.com/monthly magazine. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And if you want to support the channel, you can get involved with the Patron account, but you can also get involved by giving any donations to our PayPal account. I have linked it in the account in the description if you guys want to donate towards anything, to help improve this podcast, to help me also get the time to be able to do more regular shows, etc. I'm going to need you guys' help on that if you want that to continue. So please get involved with the PayPal as well as the Patreon account to help me do all of the things that I'd love to do with this channel. But so without further ado, let's get straight into today's show. And I'm looking forward to discussing everything with you guys and to get your thoughts on this particular T20 series. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your preview show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we're going to be discussing everything that has to do with the T20 series between South Africa and Australia that starts tomorrow, 11 South African Standard Time. The first game is obviously 10th of August, which is tomorrow, and then Tuesday is the second match, 12th August, and then Saturday, the 16th of August, is the final T20. It is an opportunity for Coach Shukri to test some new players and show us where his thinking is at when it comes to the 11, and to give us some thoughts, processes on the strategy that he wants to implement when it comes to this particular team. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say. I haven't reacted to it yet. It was embargoed for this morning, and I thought I'll keep it for the show so that we can all go together and do it together and react to it live on the particular show. So that's what I want to be doing on today's show. But before we get that started, I just want to refresh you guys on who the squad is so that you guys do know. We've got in the batting department, we've got Aiden Markram as the captain, Deva Brevis, Luandre Pretorius, Ryan Rickerton, Tristan Stubbs, and Rassie van der Dussen. So in Coach Shukri's mind, these are the best batters that we have available to us in the T20 format. That's clear to see. He's dropped the likes of Riza Hendricks. We don't have a space here for Ruben Herman. The reason David Miller's not in this team is because he's playing in the 100. Those particular negotiations happened with Coach Rob and Enoch before Coach Shukri was selected as the white ball coach. So that's why he's not in this team. And Coach Shukri didn't want to go against that agreement, and he wanted to stay true to the player and the agreement that he had before he stepped in. So that's the reason why David Miller's not in the mix. Heinrich Klaassen, of course, we know has retired, so he's not available and in part of this. In the seamers department, we've got Nande Burger, Kwena Mapaka, Lungingini, and Kagiso Rabada. I really like this. There's a mix of experience, obviously with KG being our best bowler, Lungingidi experience over there, Nande Burger, who's newer into the T20 and the Proteas setup, but he has a lot of domestic experience. So there's a lot of learnings for Kwena Mapaka when it comes to this particular team, and that's what I've always wanted to see. I've always wanted to see youngsters being introduced with experienced players around them so that they can take the most out of those interactions of being a part of the squad. You don't want youngsters to be in a team of a whole lot of youngsters that are all learning together. If they lose, then you don't really learn much from that, really, other than character building, I would say. So it's nice to see that these youngsters are in and amongst other experienced players so that they can get the most out of these tours and get the most out of this series. In the all-rounder department, we've got Corbin Bosch, George Linda, and Senator Mutasami. And then in the spinning department, Ngaba Peter and Brennan Sobrine. I put Brennan Sobrine here in the spinning department and not in the all-rounder department because he hasn't yet truly shown us what he can do with a bat when it comes to the T20 format. And for the Proteas, not really for his SA20 teams either. Domestically, he's shown some signs of good batting, but I'm not ready to put him in the all-rounder department quite yet until he proves it to us and he shows us what he can do. So that's the squads. But I think let's go straight into the press conference because that's why you guys are probably here, mainly, not to see my ugly face. It's more to hear what Coach Shukri Conrad has to say as well in the press conference. And if I get time, I'll try to get to Ryan Rickerton and KG Rabada's one. I do have a little audio file from Aiden as well, so I'll play that maybe after we get to Coach Shukri. But let's react to Coach Shukri's press conference and see what he had to say. What is his thoughts and about the squad and obviously going to Australia?
How's it, Shooks? I probably wouldn't have wanted to ask this first up, but anyway, I'm just interested in finding out about your thoughts on how you want to develop your spin contingent, because we can see that you've picked guys who can also bat in George Linda and Sen. Are you specifically looking for for spinners who can also offer something with the bat, or I suppose for all sorts of bowlers who can offer something with the bat?
Yeah, I think it's ideal if you can stack your side with as many all-rounders. And when I say all-rounders, I talk fully fledged all-rounders, guys that offer quite a lot with the bat and then obviously with the ball as well, So yeah, it's something that we definitely sifting through, that I'm definitely looking at as to what gives us the best balance for not only this tour but also going forward and as we build to the World Cup. So yes, it's a definite ploy to see what guys offer us with the ball in the spin department, but also how we can lengthen our batting.
So that's very important. I think that's probably the reason why we have so many spinners, because obviously the T20 World Cup will be Sri Lanka and India, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in February, March of 2026. So it's important for him to start the testing and start the trials for players now already. I like that because it's forward thinking. I know it might not be the best scenario for Australia, because Australia is not necessarily a spin-friendly wicket, but it would be nice for these players to get that type of experience, and learning how to bowl in non-friendly conditions under pressure is important, because if they find themselves in the squad and we need them to put in a performance, it's very important that you have that options. So I like that he's giving a preparation mentality, as a preparation mentality for the World Cup, and that's why I made it it's good to know that we're on the same wavelength here, actually, because that's why I made the title World Cup Prep Begins. Because for me, you start your World Cup prep as soon as possible. You don't only start trying to put together teams a couple of series, 1 series, 2 series before the World Cup, like Coach Rob did or like Coach Mark Boucher did. There wasn't really necessarily forward thinking, I felt, with the squads that they selected. And that's why I like the squad and the balance that he selected with the squad. So it's good to hear that Coach Shukri is on a similar wavelength as me with regards to this.
Thanks, Fidos. Johan, then Zahir.
Hi, Shuks. Talking of all-rounders, is there a slight possibility that Marco might join at the end of this tour?
No. There's no chance that Marco joins at the end of this tour. As it stands, we hopeful that he can join for the T20s in the United Kingdom. But when you say this tour, I assume you talk Australia. Definitely no chance.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a spoiler, exclusive here. I spoke to not Coach Shukri, sorry. I spoke to Marco Jansen, off the record, kind of. It wasn't really a conversation that we would classify maybe as off the record, because we were at the trophy tour in Langa, and he was there, so he came up to me and he greeted me. It's very difficult, to greet him, because sometimes we give each other like a quick hug, and he's quite tall, obviously. So I am like, so he's like, he had a conversation with me, we caught up, and I saw that he had what do they call it? A wrist guard, I guess, because he just had surgery on his hand. I don't know which hand it was now, sorry. But we had a conversation, and I asked him, how are you doing? How's your recovery going? How did the surgery go? And he gave me the thumbs up. He said the surgery went well, and now he's just working on recovery, and he's working on, obviously, then he has to do his rehab, and then he gets to get ready. So, but it was still bandaged. It was still, so you could still see it was still bandaged up, etc. And there's still some healing that needs to be done there. So there would have been no way. That was about 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So there was no way you would have been ready for this particular series at all. If you see him in person and you saw the guard, etc., and then you would have known. I mean, he didn't really use that hand much either when he was playing with the kids too much. So he still probably needs to recover, and then obviously make sure that he does his rehab, etc., for his hand after the surgery. So there was no way he was going to play in this match at all, or in the series.
Thank you.
Thanks, Johan. Zahir.
It's just what the differences between coaching the test side and the white ball teams? What have you found to be the biggest, let's call them challenges in comparison between the two formats, or three formats, I should say?
I don't think the challenges are any different. I mean, the personnel are by and large the same, with a few fresh faces. But yeah, I haven't. It's obviously it's just strategy that comes into play more than anything else. With regards to the T20, you obviously look at how you're going to stack up your side based on what conditions are potentially going to throw up, and then how best you can cram everything into one. You know, so as it stands, it's around the strategic side of things. The brand is pretty much simple. We all know how nice and aggressively we want to play, but not huge challenges. I must be brutally honest.
Okay, that's good. He's not seeing this as a difficult challenge necessarily to that extent. He has ideas of how he wants to go forward. He has ideas of how he wants to set up the team. So it's going to be a very strategic tour, I feel. We're going to see strategies maybe. Maybe we're going to see some new ideas. When it comes to the attacking and mentality that he said he wants to play a little aggressive brand, I feel that the players he selected will do that naturally for him. If you look at that batting lineup, you can easily see that those are type of players that naturally play an aggressive game. And it's important that you select the right players for that type of mentality. I mean, the likes of Aiden Markram, Luandre Pretorius, Ryan Nicholton, Tristan Stubbs, Deva Brevis, all of them, they have an attacking mentality naturally. That's their natural game. The only one that you can maybe say doesn't really have that natural mentality is Rassie van der Dussen. But I like a balance in a squad. It's good to know that you have someone that can maybe just that takes a little bit longer and it will battle the end and bat deep. That's very important as well. So that is something that we need to make sure that we take into consideration. I wonder whether he's going to open with Aiden or he's going to open with Ryan. I mean with Rassie. I know probably Ryan will open. For me personally, I would like to see that young team play. I would not select Rassie van der Dussen for this particular T20 squad. I will play Aiden, Luandre, and then Ryan maybe at 3 even, or Aiden at 3 and open with Ryan and Luandre, and then have Tristan Stubbs and Deva Brevis as well in the team. But seeing that he selected 6 batters, all 6 will probably play, and then or he could go with 5 batters. I mean, and then have George Linde at 6. But I would try and get all of these players in. That's me personally. I would rather go with Luandre Pretorius, Ryan Nicholton, Aiden Markram, Tristan Stubbs and Deva Brevis, and then have like a George Linde at 6, and then a Corbin Bosch at 7, Serena Mutasami at 8, 9 Nandre Burger, 10 Lungingidi, 11 Kagiso Rabada. So that would kind of be my 11 going into this match. But then Senaran, I would swap out with maybe Ngaba Peter for some games, because it's important that Ngaba gets ready with that wrist spin, and then maybe one game for Prenelin. So give the spinners each one game, so we can see what they can do, all of them. So that's maybe what I would go with personally. I don't know what you guys are thinking behind that, but that's my thinking behind it, because I know what Rassie gives me. You know, you can maybe give 2 games to Luandre and then drop Luandre, or the rest of Luandre, or take him out, whatever you want to call it, for Rassie van der Dussen for 1 game. I mean, I think I would go with that type of mentality.
Thanks. Here, Telford.
Thanks, Lucy. How's the trucks? I'm sure you learned a lot from what happened in Zimbabwe about your depth, particularly. And I just wonder, what's it like to have basically your first choice side back?
Yeah, it's obviously it's great having the experienced guys back, nice and refreshed as well. You can see these guys are rearing to go, and as you rightly say, you know, valuable exercise Zimbabwe was, and then obviously to build on what were the good things in Zimbabwe, you know. And here we talk in particular the form of our 2 young batters, and someone like Kwena as well, to continually grow his stocks in T20 cricket. So really excited. Great having the experience back. Obviously, Aidan's leadership, and then obviously the leadership roles that someone like Kagiso plays. So really excited about this next couple of weeks. We know it's going to be a great challenge. But yeah, like I said earlier, the guys are raring to go.
We're singing the same lyrics here, Coach Shukri and I. You heard my intro. I told you that what I would like to see from this particular series. Keywords like building on the previous try series, learning from the youngsters, from the experienced players, balance, making sure that everybody gets opportunities, all of that type of stuff. Coach Shukri has just said the same things here. So I'm really happy with that answer.
Thanks, Talbot. We'll take another one from Kadosh. Seems to hear.
Shanks, I just want to ask, I think I looked at the calendar and it's something like 17 T20s before the World Cup. And obviously that's a nice amount
It's a
to,
lot.
I suppose, get an idea of your side or whatever. But in your experience, does having this many games, is it helpful or does it even play any real role in, what happens at a tournament? Or are we all just building it up saying World Cup prep, and then actually what happens at the tournament just happens at the tournament?
I think whatever happens at the tournament happens at the tournament. There's no doubt. Whenever you get to a tournament, you often say, well, whatever's gone before doesn't really count, depending on how your running was. If you had a good running, you say how you build on that. And obviously the converse is also holds true if you had a poor running. But in this case, I think it's really just, I've only been in the job, a few months now, so it's not as if I've had a year or so to look at what potentially is going to be our best squad to go to India. So for me, it's really just obviously developing, winning, and then potentially getting to what our best squad is for the conditions in India. So I think these tours have great value for me as a new head coach, for the coaching staff, and then obviously for the players. A lot of them have enjoyed a nice long break, and prior to that, they obviously played high-level Test cricket. So great that the running is going to be white ball stuff for the next month at least.
I actually didn't know it was 17 games. That's a hell of a long preparation, and that's really good. That's really, really good. That's enough time for Coach Shukri to really build and grow and build a mentality within this team. That means a lot more interactions with each other, building a chemistry, building a culture. That's enough games to be able to do all of those things.
Thanks, here.
It's Australia again, and know what you said after winning the WTC final. Does that just add a little bit of extra edge to the series? Not just a white ball series in Darwin and Cairns, all places.
Yes, you make it sound as Darwin and Cairns are bad. Darwin is great here. 31 degrees as we speak. No, whether playing Australia and beating Australia adds any extra spice to the series, I'm not so sure. I think playing Australia generally adds the spice, So I don't think the WTC will have much to do. Whether it does for them, I can't answer to that. But I think we've moved on from the WTC. We know how great it was. We know what sort of confidence that has given us in many respects, and in no specific format. But yeah, playing Australia in Australia, we know how challenging that is, and it's a challenge that we absolutely relish.
Happy with that as well. Plain and simple. It's a challenge, and they need every challenge that they can get. It's such an amazing learning curve for the likes of Luandre, Theerwald, Kwena, it's Ngaba Peter. It's such a great learning for them.
Thanks. So here, Keenan.
Thanks, Luz. Hi, Shuks. You've made no secret about Ryan Riccarton and Peter Markram being your preferred opening batters. I was just curious to know whether you see Markram opening in the 50 over format as well.
It's no secret, eh? He just said it. Yeah, look, we've obviously got our eyes set on T20s now, and like you say, Ryan and Aiden will be our opening bats.
There we go.
And I'll be very, very surprised when the ODIs come around if it's not the two of them again.
Wow. I like it. Right hand, left hand combination, some experience at the top, attacking. That gives us our answer that we needed, guys. So it will be between Rassie and probably Luandre for that number 3 spot. I wonder if he's thinking maybe Tristan Stubbs at 3. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen either. So, I mean, I would even like to see that and maybe drop Luandre a little bit lower down, perhaps. But maybe Stubbs should be that number 4 for South Africa, because that number 4 is an important spot as well in the T20 format. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes with the lineup. Like I said, I told you mine. I would play Luandre as in the opening 2 games, and then maybe Rassie in the last one. That would be my preferred direction to go with, because for me it's about blooding these youngsters in as quick as possible and make sure that they are surrounded by experience when they go out to bat in the middle. So that's very important for me. So we know openers for South Africa in ODIs and T20, so we can build our teams now around those. That's a brilliant little soundbite there for us.
Great. Thanks, Keenan. Are there any further questions? Feroz, please go ahead.
It's a bit left field, but just because I'm also working on Zimbabwe, but you just saw them and they've got to qualify for the T20 World Cup. They're obviously, as a test team, really struggling. From what you've seen, do you think they have what it takes to qualify, or are there concerns?
I think there'll be obvious concerns, but you can see what Samo's building on there. There's obviously got a few experienced guys that are coming back. So Brendan Taylor plays first test match in 3 years. Let's see, Graham Creamer's around, and I think that'll give them a hell of a lot of confidence. I wouldn't read too much into their test form currently. They've got the makings and some really dangerous players in T20 cricket, and we all know how 1 or 2 players can influence a match. So I'd be very, very surprised if they didn't get through the qualifiers.
Thanks, Feroz. We'll look to act with Benjamin.
Thanks, Lucy. Good morning or good evening, Shooks. You sort of touched on it a little bit. Can I get your thoughts on actually not playing at your traditional venues or cities down there, your Sydney's, Adelaide, or Melbourne or something on your tour? Thanks.
What is the question?
I don't know what the question is.
People talking playing at venues from mainstream MCG and SCG, so just playing in places like that.
Yeah. Sorry, Benjamin. I just lost track there when you took me out Aussie there. Yeah, look. Obviously, you can't play there now. The weather doesn't allow it. Ideally, you want to be playing at the Wackers and the Gabbers and all the rest of it. But no, I mean, we just thrilled that we're coming to a let's call it a smaller cricketing part of Australia. But we do know that the matches are sold out already here in Darwin. So the excitement's building, and yeah, great that we can just take on the Aussies. On Aussie soil, any venue you play is going to be a challenge, and I don't see it any different here. We'll get used to the conditions. We kind of used to the conditions in terms of the climate, but it's a drop in wicket, so we'll see what that throws up, and then obviously we're going to have to adjust very quickly.
Thanks, Benjamin. I see Mark's got his hand, so that will be the final question. Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you. I also want to go a little left field, if you don't mind. Have you got any details of the Pakistan tests, and how easy, difficult is it going to be to basically starting your new WTP cycle amid a massive concentration on limited overs games, but at the same time, I would presume you desperately want to get back to the final and defend your title. How easy is that going to be, and do you have any Pakistan details for us?
Well, we don't know exactly where the tests are being played yet, but Mark, it's something that I spend a lot of time on juggling. Obviously, prioritizing. Test matches will always stay a priority for us. As you say, we want to get off to a really good start. We know how tough Pakistan is going to be. So for that series, once this trip, and I say this trip, I'm talking about the UK bit, is done, all our focus then shifts to the test series in Pakistan, and then also making sure that we get some good work done through the ODI and T20. It might be a completely different squad as we then prioritize the test series in India, where there's almost an overlap of the two tours. I think the last T20 in Pakistan is like 3 or 4 days out from the first test match in India. So yes, a lot of time being spent and juggling and seeing how we're going to get the right mix and prioritizing the test matches, but also not losing sight of how important this one day, the white ball series are.
Okay, so that's Coach Shukri's presser. I covered it obviously in detail during, so I'm not going to go too much in a summary with regards to that. I was happy with it. I was happy with everything that was said. Let's just go into the captain, because I really want to hear what Aiden Markram had to say as well. It's important to know also what the captain thinks ahead of this particular game. So let me just find that audio for you guys quickly. Here's it. Okay, let's listen to what Aiden had to say. It's a short one, so I have time for it, because I need to go drop my sister off as well. So yeah, I'm quite busy today, and United's playing this afternoon, so I'm also excited about that.
Aiden, you just had a quick look at the pitch. What are you sort of expecting to see here in Darwin?
Yeah, I'm not too sure, to be honest. Not too much sort of data to work with either. It's been quite a long time since a game has been played here, so don't want to look too much into it. Sort of take it in your stride on game day. Try to get a feel closer to the time. Obviously, 2 days out still now, so still a bit early to make a call. But yeah, we'll get you on game day and have a look again tomorrow, and hopefully try to start building a picture.
You have a team?
No, not yet. No.
No team.
Tell us who's not playing.
Well, that's the same thing. No, we're still having conversations. Shukri, the coach, and then obviously we've got a convener selector now back at home as well. So conversations are still on the go, and tomorrow's training obviously as well. So probably only tomorrow evening we'll have a good idea.
So that's your first hook-up against Australia since your remarkable innings in the World Test Championship final. Do you reflect on that coming into playing Australia again?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a special time for all of us, that test match. So obviously good memories and good things to sort of keep in the bank. But it's been a while now. Some of us have come off some good rest at home, and obviously now a different format, different venue, and kind of a different opposition as well in terms of the makeup of the T20 squad. So completely new slate for us now, and building up to a World Cup in Feb next year. It's an exciting journey to start off.
Obviously, there was that disappointment at the World Cup last year. What have been the focuses for this cycle to make sure that you can go one better?
Yeah, I mean, already we've had quite a few changes in personnel as well. Some guys have moved on. Got some younger guys in the squad as well. So it's really just unlocking the guys to sort of be the best versions of themselves, play with absolute freedom, take the game on, and entertain. That's what T20 cricket is all about. So we know if we play good cricket against whichever team, it's going to be entertaining and it's going to be a good show for people to watch. So that's sort of where we're at mentally, and trying to sort of unlock that out of the players themselves.
Yeah, he spoke about that because I did an exclusive with Aiden Markram as well on this channel. But it was more about test cricket and what Coach Shukri. But I asked him, what does Coach Shukri add? Because obviously he'll be part of the white ball teams as well. What does he add that's different from other coaches? He says the one major line for me was he unlocks the genius in us or in players. And I like that, because that gives us an indication that he's very focused on trying to get the best out of players and trying to let them play their natural games.
It's a different part of the world, and you might not ordinarily get to come here. I haven't been here in 20 years. Are you looking forward to having a chance to kind of look around and
like with that World Cup not around the corner, are you going to see the reef?
Yeah,
Not
we'll,
literally, but
yeah, we'll try our best to get it on, of course. Certainly makes tours a lot more enjoyable wherever you are in the world. So some nice options out here, obviously moving to Cairns and Mackay as well. Some nice options to do, and I'm sure between games we'll make an effort to go see some stuff.
There's some young blokes in the squad, 19, 20 years old. Can you tell us about them and what is so exciting about these new guys?
Yeah, just explosive and fearless. You know how it is to be 19, 20 again, and there's not many worries in the world when you're that age, and it sort of reflects in when they train and how you see them operate. So very exciting. Each country has their own youngsters coming through, and we got a handful of them on this tour, and it's just exciting and a great opportunity for us to see what they're about and to hopefully allow them to entertain people.
Yeah, and that's what they're there for. Those youngsters need to make sure that they have that mentality throughout the series, of course. Entertain, play your natural game, allow yourself to be expressive. Those are all things that are very important. And I am very much almost certain that Coach Shukri is going to be implementing that strategy to try and bring out the best in players, their natural way of play, rather than trying to change them and coach them. Because I mean, at that level already, they should understand the game. You just need to tweak them, tweak certain things. You don't want to be teaching or coaching new things to players. That's what happened under Coach Mark Boucher. Remember that, guys. We did a presser and a reaction to it where he spoke about, and some of the players also told me personally about, he was trying to like coach them, almost like they don't know how to, to do certain things. They were doing a lot of net sessions of coaching instead of trying to tap into their abilities and bring out the best, and maybe just focus on, removing their weaknesses or avoiding their weaknesses so that they can elevate the game. They were trying to coach new things and theories and strategies and ways of play and shots and stuff that they can add to the. That doesn't necessarily have to happen. Only if the coach can obviously see right there that this will be a quick addition. That's not going to take too much extra coaching and repetitions, because you know that to master a new stroke, the repetitions need to be a hell of a lot for you to get that to become almost instinctive, So about the 10,000 rule, 10,000 hours rule. To master something, you need to practice it for at least 10,000 hours to become a master of it. So you don't want to be like adding new things to a team, like especially so close out to World Cups, etc., and important games. You want to try and bring out the best in them. That's so important. So yeah, I mean that's very interesting. I mean, when it comes to like players from Australia side, I mean, I'm most likely we're probably going to see the likes of Mitch Marsh, Travis Head, Josh Inglis, Cameron Green, Tim David, Glenn Maxwell, Mitchell Owen. I don't know some of these guys, like for example, Ben Dwaseis. That sounds like he comes again from like from the Netherlands or something. Nathan Ellis, Adam Zampa, Josh Hazelwood. Those are some of the players in the mix. Those are the big names, I guess, when it comes to the Australian team. Mitch Marsh is obviously going to be a very important player, being the captain and all. Very, very destructive, as we know he can be. And he'll probably open the batting for Australia. And they've got a lot of depth, a lot of all-rounders, etc. So it's going to be a very interesting clash. English is also quite dangerous, I've heard. I mean, I see Dex also says it here in the live chat. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen over here. Pitches and conditions, for example, for the first game in Darwin. According to ESPN Crick Info, Darwin is effectively starting again as an international venue after such a long gap. There is some uncertainty over what the conditions will be like, although there shouldn't be anything untoward in the surface. The forecast for both matches is good with mild, dry evenings. So that's the forecast. And talking about the pitch, they don't know really much. So there's not much we can give you. We're going to have to wait for the pitch report on the morning of the game. So, yeah, let me just get into some of your live chats over here. let's see what you guys have had to say. Let's start with Dex. Khalid, where would Temba bat in ODIs? I would say number 3. We heard that Coach Shukri wants Aiden Markram and Ryan Rickleton to open in both formats. He's always an opener. It's been years since he's batted in the middle. Not necessarily, not for South Africa. Dex, but Shooks has made it clear that Aiden and Ryan are the openers in all 3 formats. Yes, he has. What means Temba should be out white ball? So number 3, I think. What it means, it will be different ODI and T20 squad. I hope not. It will drop the youngsters. I hope so too. Tabo says, I'm happy Markram is going to open across all formats. I have been asking for it for years to happen because he's a genuine open. Me too. I like it, Tabo, that we are on the same wavelength there. Temba's place will be... Temba continues and he says, Temba's place will be in this. Temba's place will be decided in the series. He needs to score the runs and at a good strike rate to keep his place. Well, he's Coach Shukri's captain, and I think Coach Shukri will back him. Lodrick says Temba is okay at 3 in ODIs. We need someone who will attack in the power play. That's important. And Aiden Markram and Ryan can both do that. And it's a right-left-hand combination, which I like as well. Lodrick says we need openers who will attack in the power play because they change ball after 34 overs in ODI. Now, that's true. In what time square says Luanda Pretorius and Deva can smash every ball for 6. Let's hope that they still keep their mentalities, keep themselves rooted as well and adapt their games to conditions, etc. as well. Tex says, I don't think CSA will let Temba be dropped for 2027 World Cup. Also, there is a very strong to CSA that must select a diverse and representative squad. That means Zoji could also make it. We'll see. A strong directive is what you meant. Take the chat, Khalid. That's what I'm doing. Lodrick says the Zoji is okay as a squad player. Temba at 3 is okay. But if you open with him, you are shooting yourself in the foot. Tex says English is dangerous. Tabo says then we are not winning the World Cup if we are going to select players based on quotas and we don't deserve to. Did you see Riley's comments on the quota system? I did not, and I'm not interested to hear what he has to say about it either. I also don't think that we should be selecting on quotas for tournaments. I think that we should almost allow it to happen during series leading up, give players opportunities then and as many opportunities as possible. But when you want to pick for a World Cup tournament, etc., you need to pick your best team if you want to win it. We saw that with the test series. We must select our best 15 based on performances, not a race, says Tabo. Safa says, David versus Deovat will be an interesting battle of heavy metal batting. Interesting one there to pronounce it there. The way you described it, sorry. Lodrick says, I don't see us winning T20 match against Australia, England, and India this year, but in ODIs, we have a chance. Let's have some little bit more belief, bro. Sarfra says, unless Tony proves me wrong, I'm not high on Tony being in the Protest team, and he better go back to domestic cricket and work on his batting flaws. It's hard to do that, actually, because he doesn't face the same challenges, you know. The potential's there with Tony, and I think we only see these weaknesses when he gets given that opportunity for the step up. Domestic cricket is too easy with Tony at the moment. So, that's my problem, man. You have to kind of do that type of learnings, etc. When you see talent in a play, give him opportunities and then try to give him the best advice to implement it in the domestic scene. In what time square says English will kill whoever is bowling to him. Safa says, thing is, South Africa has so much riches of talent in terms of batting that it's just a dilemma for Coach Shukri, which is really good. As many people said, South Africa didn't have enough pool of talent, and now we do. And he's giving opportunities, and I'm really, really happy with him and his mentality and the way he's gone forward with things. So I'm really interested to see how these players adapt, what they can learn from the series. We'll be doing the learnings, obviously, after the review to see what these players have learned and go in depth on our review shows. Tex says, punk rock batting by Tristan, Ryan, and Devi is all he wants to see, Khalid. Punk rock, how do you know I like punk rock, bro? Machine Gun Kelly's new album is my favorite artist, guys. And his new album came out, Lost Americana, and it dropped midnight on Friday. So Saturday morning. I listened to it, midnight on Thursday, sorry. So Friday. 3 times I listened to it that night. I only slept like the past 3 hours like a zombie on Friday. But it was worth it. I love every single song on that album. It's so amazing. Big fan of punk rock as well, like the Blink 182s, etc. So Avril Lavigne, I'm a big fan of as well. But anyway, that's enough for that, and enough of me. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. What FGK fan? Machine Gun Kelly. He's a he's an artist. He's my favorite artist. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for joining on this early morning show. I had to do it because this early morning it would be pointless to do it tonight when we only have a couple of hours until the next game. You know, nobody is going to then watch it. So thanks a lot for coming, spending your Saturday morning with me, and allowing me to speak to you guys and giving me your opinions, etc. After we've ended the stream, please go put your 11s in the comment section. That's a nice way to like boost the video, and I will look at those 11s and also like say what my thoughts are. So please go and do that, please. It will really help us a lot. After you've exited here, go to the comment section and leave your comments there. And don't forget to obviously subscribe to the notification and turn on the notifications. Smash that bell, subscribe, click the notification bells to get announcements on when we do go live. Please, guys, do that. Yeah. So anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again tomorrow with a review show directly after the game. Stay safe, everybody. Enjoy your weekend, please, as best as you can. And I'll see you guys very, very soon.